The fantasy genre has many styles and subgenres, one of them being high fantasy, and there are some great TV shows on that branch that have faded into obscurity through the years. Various fantasy titles can be found among the best TV shows of all time, some of them falling into the category of high fantasy. These shows stand out for being set in entirely fictional worlds with their own history, geography, and systems, often with non-human characters and where magic exists. TV shows like Game of Thrones, The Witcher, The Wheel of Time, and The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power are high fantasy, and some now rank among the best fantasy TV shows of all time. However, as it happens in every other genre, many high fantasy shows have been overshadowed by the biggest and most successful productions. This doesn't mean they are bad, but they fail to stand out in a very competitive genre. There are different reasons why these high fantasy shows are now forgotten that are unrelated to their quality. Many of them lacked marketing support, others had weird or inconsistent scheduling, and others couldn't reach a mainstream audience, leading them to not be remembered by many or not being known at all. Whatever the reason, these shows deserve more recognition, especially from fans of the fantasy genre. Legend of the Seeker 2 Seasons. Created by Sam Raimi and based on Terry Goodkind's The Sword of Truth novel series, Legend of the Seeker takes viewers into a world with three main provinces: Westland, the Midlands, and Thara. The first two are separated by a magical boundary that prevents magic from entering Westland, while Thara is ruled by Darkenral. A young man named Richard Cypher, Craig Horner, learns that he's the Seeker of Truth, and so his mission is to stop Rawl from becoming powerful enough to conquer the world. Legend of the Seeker has been compared to Xena, Warrior Princess and Hercules, the legendary journeys in terms of action and a cast with incredible chemistry, but the show falls more into cheesy and comfort show territory compared to those two. Despite its charm, Legend of the Seeker didn't reach mainstream popularity due to the changes it made to its source material and its cancellation after 2 seasons. Gallivant 2 Seasons. Gallivant is a musical fantasy comedy TV show created by Dan Fogelman. Gallivant is the story of the title character, Sir Gary Gallivant, Joshua Sass, a once dashing knight looking to reclaim his reputation and happiness from the evil King Richard, Timothy O'Munson, who stole his love, Madalena, Mallory Jansen. Gallivant is aided in this journey by Princess Isabella, Karen David, and his squire Sid, Luke Youngblood, and together, they go on fun yet absurd adventures. Gallivant is unlike most fantasy shows thanks to its combination of comedy, musical, fantasy elements, and subversion of fairy tale tropes and expectations. Gallivant's writing is one of its biggest strengths, with meta-humor, catchy songs, and character development. However, it was that fun combination of genres that drew viewers away, which, along with airing as a mid-season replacement, led to Gallivant's early cancellation. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell 7 episodes. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell is a historical fantasy TV series based on Susanna Clarke's 2004 novel of the same name. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell is set in England, during the Napoleonic Wars, but in an alternative history version where magic exists and is acknowledged, but isn't widely practiced. The show, then, follows Mr. Norrell, Eddie Marsan, a self-taught practical magician, and Jonathan Strange, Bertie Carvel, Norrell's apprentice. Together, they try to bring magic back while also saving the city, though not without conflict between them due to their different views on magic. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell currently holds a 92% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, and was praised for its performances, tone, and overall quality, though some critics found that it didn't quite capture the magic of the novel. Still, Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell is worth watching for its take on magic, production design, and its combination of dark and whimsical. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell was overshadowed by other, bigger fantasy shows, leading it to become a niche type of show. WITCH 2 Seasons. WITCH is an animated TV series based on the comic book series of the same name created by Elisabetta Known, Alessandro Barbucci, and Barbara Canepa. WITCH follows teenagers Will, Irma, Terene, Cornelia, and Hei Lin, who find out they are the second generation of the Guardians of the Veil. As such, their mission is to save Planet Meridian from the tyrannical Prince Phobos and Lord Cedric, who are looking for the former's younger sister, the true heir to the throne, and it turns out to be Cornelia's best friend, Elian. WITCH mixes fantasy, drama, romance, and comedy, but without fear of exploring dark settings, characters, and storylines. WITCH has engaging world-building, relatable characters, and cleverly addresses mature themes, which are enough to make the show popular. Unfortunately, WITCH suffered the consequences of poor marketing, inconsistent scheduling, changes to the comic books, and the success of its direct competitor, Winx Club. Carnival Row 2 Seasons. Created by Renee Echeverria and Travis Beecham, Carnival Row is set in a neo-noir Victorian world, more specifically in the Burg, a city where humans and mythical creatures coexist after the latter fled their war-torn homeland. As tensions between human residents and the mythological immigrants grow, a series of murders begins. Detective Philo, Orlando Bloom, is in charge of investigating those crimes, and in the process, he reconnects with his former lover Vignette, Cara Delevingne, a fairy who has joined a group of Fae extremists. One of Carnival Row's biggest strengths is its steampunk visual style, accompanied by impressive special effects and beautiful cinematography. Carnival Row also has a rich, dark, and complex world with compelling characters, through which it explores mature themes and social topics like racism, immigration, and class struggles. What led Carnival Row to become forgotten was the 4-year gap between seasons, along with its niche appeal. Alchemy of Souls 2 Parts. Alchemy of Souls is a South Korean TV show that takes viewers to the fictional nation of Daeho. Alchemy of Souls follows Na-Soo, an assassin who uses the alchemy of souls to switch bodies. However, when her soul ends up trapped in a weak body, Mudeok, she